wanasema hakuna hukumu, ni sawa, tumekuelewa. Wengine wanasema jehanamu hakuna, ni sawa, tumekuelewa. Wengine wanasema Yesu siyo Mungu, ni sawa, tumekuelewa. Siku inakuja yenye kilio sana, siku inakuja, siku inakuja yenye kusaga meno, siku inakuja, siku inakuja yenye kilio sana, siku inakuja, siku inakuja yenye kusaga meno, siku inakuja. Heri yako wewe uliyetubu dhambi zako, heri yako wewe, heri yako wewe uliyemwamini Yesu, heri yako wewe, oh, heri yako, heri yako mama, heri, heri, heri wewe uliyetubu dhambi, heri yako, heri, heri, heri uliyemwamini Yesu, heri yako, heri, heri, heri uliyetubu dhambi zako mama. Oh, heri yako, heri yako mama, heri, heri, heri wewe uliyetubu dhambi, heri yako, heri, heri, heri uliyemwamini Yesu, heri yako, heri, heri, heri uliyetubu dhambi zako mama.
Well, welcome to the topic of today. As we have just said, heri yako wewe uliyemwamini Yesu. Okay, today we are going to talk about the topic of life. And in this we are going to look at life. What is life? What does life mean? And what life entails for us. It is a long topic and we'll be going bit by bit till we finish it. As we are going to cover the season 1 of this topic, our reference book is Psalm chapter 90 verse 10. The Bible says, the years of our life are 70, or even by reason of strength 80. Yet the span is but toil and trouble. They are soon gone and will fly away. So that's what the Bible says about the topic of life, about life. The Bible says that the life we have been given is 70, and if more is 80. But this 80, for us to reach 80 years, we have to toil a lot. It's a lot of toiling. So we have got the lifespan of a human being, which have been given is 70, and there is extra additional years which we have been given, which is 80, which is 10, which when we add 10 to 70, that's 80. And the lifespan, we are going to compare two things here: the lifespan of a human being and the ego. So when we look at the life of a human being, it's 70. Then the ego also has a lifespan of 70. And let's do the comparison, but before we do that, let's know what the letters life means. The life is composed of 4 words, 4 letters to make it a word. The first one is letter L, which stands for learning, and the years of a human being is between 0 to 20. Those who fall in the group of learning, between 0 to 20. Then we have I, interpretation, which they say E, interpretation. That's from 21 to 40 years. Then we have letter F, which nowadays they say full. That's fulfillment, from 41 to 60. That's age bracket. Then we have E for evacuation. That's from 60 to 80. Yeah, to understand this better, let us read the book of Psalm 90, verse 10, which I've just read. And what does it say? It says, the years of our life we have given 70. Of 70 years are given to us, some even to 80. But even the best years are filled. So, but even the best years are filled with pain and trouble. So soon they disappear and we fly away. That's New Living Translation. The one that I'd read earlier was Holy Bible, or the Gideon translation. So the best thing that we need to know here is 70 years have been given to us, and some are even given even up to 80. But even the best years are filled with pain. The best years here is between 70 and 80. They are filled with pain, a lot of pain. The best years here again can be as from 60. They are filled with a lot of pain. The best years here can be even as from 40 going onwards, but they are filled with a lot of pain. If we as human beings, we have not interpreted or we have not actualized this word called life, brethren, as we go to the second season of now justifying what these two letters means. Letter L, we said that it means learning. L for learning. As nowadays, you know, the syllabus changed and they brought many issues in terms of education. So learning takes place between the age of 0 and 20 years. If a child passes this age without learning anything that child should have learned within this age, in future that child will have a lot of problem. If a person passes that age without learning the things that she or he has to learn within the age bracket of 0 to 20, when that person reaches as from 21 onwards, that person will try to interpret whichever thing she or he learned at the learning period. So don't expect that child to come and learn when she or he has reached the age of interpretation. To fathers and mothers and parents, guardians, relatives who are outside there who are listening to us at this moment, if you look at the university students, most of them are from 21 to 40, between that age bracket. But at that age, between 0 to 20, is a process where pupils or children or students acquire what we call new understanding. So learning is the process of acquiring new understanding, knowledge, behaviors, skills, values, attitudes, and preference. They acquire understanding. They acquire new understanding. When your child is at the age of learning, what are the things you want this child to acquire in terms of understanding, knowledge, behaviors, skills, values, attitude, and many others? The ability to learn is passed by human beings and animals. That's why we have picked an ego, and we'll use the story of an ego in this topic to show how people learn, and we'll relate this in terms of Christian life. So we have said that the ability to learn is passed by human, animals, and some machines like robots. Robots also passes learning. That's why if you are doing a research, you Google, you will be asked, are you a robot or human being? So robot also passes learning. Then we have another thing here is, it is the best age bracket to be utilized accordingly. This is the best age bracket to be utilized accordingly. If you are to learn a certain skills, utilize it accordingly. If you are to learn about some values, Christian values, Muslim values, Islamic values, Hindu values, utilize it accordingly and properly, so that one cannot miss what he or she is to learn. You utilize this time accordingly so that you cannot miss what you are to learn. Then another thing is, even Jesus, while he was at this age, he utilized it accordingly. 1, we find a place where Jesus even went into the church and sat next to those who were selected to sit at the synagogues, and he was listening to them. He went there to acquire knowledge, new understanding of what they were going to say, skills, values. Jesus even accompanied his father Joseph to the work he was doing, his occupation. So, to parents, in this age bracket, make sure your child learn. Whichever they learn, they will interpret as from 21 to 40. But they will normally do it between 21 to 30. So if they learn things which are not going, or things which are not pleasant, or that does not please God, even you yourself, time will come when you will start now crying, my child, my child. The problem is the age of learning. This child never learned all that he or she had to learn. That's why wherever we have these children at our houses, make sure whichever thing they learn, most of them know that they learn from us as parents. That's why I said learning is passed by human beings and animals. So whichever thing we pass to them, make sure you know that is the correct thing that they will interpret in future. There are argument in the house, disagreement in the house, everything in the house should not be part of what we pass to them as parents. So don't mess up your child, because perhaps you also, this age bracket, you never did the correct thing. I have a story to tell. If you messed up because you never learned well, you can still do it. You can still recover. I have a friend who went to university to study pharmaceutical science. By bad luck, this guy never did what we call biology, but it was compulsory. He took physics, chemistry. He made sure he had to start reading from book 1, that's Form 1, to Form 4, so that he may have the knowledge of that. Perhaps the other means which he did and may not know, but I used to see him coming to us, explain to me this topic, that topic. Still like a parent, if you miss to learn, you can do it. The person made sure he did it because he wanted to pursue the best call he had. As parents, which call do we have? We have a call to bring up the best gift which we have been given to us by God. As the Bible says, children are gifts we have been given from God. For they to be the best for us, what do? We have to give them the best. The best does not mean that we give them whichever thing they want, whichever freedom they want. Remember, too much freedom is dangerous. And I want to tell you, story of jail. Jail, you can be given everything. Meal, hata kama si proper meal. Roof, hata kama si proper roof. Food, I've talked of meal. And a place where you can lay your head, even if it is not the proper place for you. But what you could never get in jail is what we call freedom. So let us not put them in jail outside here, but let us actualize whichever thing we want our children to learn. Another thing, we are going to interpretation. In interpretation, it takes place between the age of 21 to 40 years. That's why when people have interpreted, you hear them say life starts at 40. Because they have interpreted. Now they want to fulfill what they have interpreted. In interpretation here, we interpret whichever thing we have learned. Interpretation is the action of explaining the meaning of something, the way something is explained or understood. Learning, we talk of understanding. So here you explain the meaning of what you have understood during learning. So it is at this age bracket where people mix difficult situational decisions. Some even engage in marriage during this age. Some engage in drug addict and so on. And it is at this age you find many people are suffering for things we call mental torture, mental illness. We find that family is suffering from mental illness, family is suffering from different things. And I want to tell you, it is at this age now that we want to dwell much about. So, as we go for a break, I want to tell you, keep watching, and kindly may you subscribe and dial the notification bell so that whichever time we post a video like this, YouTube will automatically